Welcome to my next Better Call Saul Season 5 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am every watching or watching Better Call Saul, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, I've already seen Better Call Saul all the way through at least one time. I actually even did reviews of Season 6 when the season was airing. So, if you want to jump ahead just a little bit, because I'll be covering it again, you can click right here with about 20 seconds left to go. That'll be my Season 6 playlist of Better Call Saul. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I even did episode review videos of all of Breaking Bad. Every single episode of Breaking Bad. I ranked the seasons. I ranked my favorite characters. So if you want to check out any of that stuff, including the El Camino review, click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video. That will be the link to those particular playlists. So again, one of my favorite shows of all time. Wanted to revisit it and do these detailed reviews. So with all that said, this will be Better Call Saul, Season 5, Episode 6. The title of this episode is called Wexler v. Goodman. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start off with a flashback. A younger Kim, I don't know exactly how old she was, 15, something like that, waits outside her junior high school after dark, holding a cello. Kim's mother, who is driving under the influence, arrives at the school to pick her daughter up. Seeing through her mother's claims that she is sober, a frustrated Kim decides to walk home, at which point her mother shouts at her, "You never listen," and then drives off. Back to present time. At least in Better Call Saul, Jimmy tasked Joey's film crew with re-editing an old Mesa Verde commercial in which a young Kevin and his father appear. Jimmy wants to produce the video for the next day, so the crew makes a green screen and hires a few locals to shoot that night inside the salon. Kim visits the salon and pitches Jimmy a $75,000 deal favoring Everett Acker, offering to supplement from her own pocket any amount that Mesa Verde will agree to pay in order to quickly close the claim. Kim is convinced that Rich is starting to suspect Jimmy's representation of Everett Acker and her involvement in it. A surprised Jimmy tries to dissuade Kim but accepts the decision. Nacho meets with Gus, Victor, and Mike, the latter of whom he pretends not to know. Nacho informs them of Lalo Salamaca's his latest activities, which are intended to undermine the cartel's trust in Gus Fring by sabotaging his legitimate and illegitimate operations. Gus informs Nacho that he will report directly to Mike from this point on. After he leaves, Nacho warns Mike about Gus's ruthlessness, but Mike reminds Nacho that he warned him of the risk he took when he tried to kill Hector Salamaca. When Nacho says that Gus has threatened to kill his father if he doesn't obey, Mike promises to discuss it once they've taken care of Lalo Salamaca. Kim, Rich, and Marcy attend a conference call to tell Paige that Acker has agreed to settle the case. Afterwards, Kim gives an apology to Rich for this scene she made after he tried to pull her off Mesa Verde. Rich accepts her apology but warns her to never make a dispute with him in public in front of the staff again. The two agree to go to lunch together in order to protect unity within the firm. Jimmy has gotten two prostitutes a light sentence of 3 months probation. He pays them into acting as his accomplices in another prank on Howard, having them approach him in the middle of lunch with Cliff Main at this restaurant and bar, and publicly accuse him of using their services without paying. An amused Jimmy watches the unfolding scene from his Suzuki, then makes a cell phone call to Olivia regarding Mesa Verde. Mike compels an office clerk to deliver an incident report regarding a hit and run that Mike had caused while evading Lalo Salamaca to Detective Tim Robbins, who of course was in Breaking Bad. After he receives the file, Roberts and his partner realize that The description of the car from the hit and run matches the description that Lily called in of the car that she had seen at the Travel Wire place on the day of Fred's murder, with the motorist's description matching Lily's, giving them a lead linking Lalo Salamanca to the murder. Jimmy meets with Kim, Rich, Kevin, and Paige at Swikert and Coakley to negotiate Acker's settlement, studying everyone in the room by demanding $4 million. Kim is confused and angered by Jimmy going off script of the plan and tries to end the meeting, only for Jimmy to show them his video, which consists of them of rough cuts of television commercials seeking plaintiffs for class action lawsuits against Mesa Verde, including outrageous acquisitions against both the bank and Kevin's father. Jimmy also takes advantage of Kim's insight into the photos taken from the inside Kevin's house. Mesa Verde's cowboy logo is based on a photo which the bank did not obtain permission to use on top of the lawsuits. Jimmy has filed an injunction against displaying the logo. After Jimmy leaves, Kevin's legal team struggles to figure out how they can deal with his threats. Kevin excuses himself from the conference room to make a phone call to Jimmy and agree to a deal. Meeting with Kevin in the parking garage, Jimmy lays out his terms. Acker is allowed to keep his house and receives $75,000. Olivia receives $200,000 for a future lease and credit for the bank's logo, with an apology to both. In exchange, Jimmy agrees to never broadcast the commercials attacking Mesa Verde and remove the injunction against their logo. Nacho phones Mike and tells him about his whereabouts. Mike then uses the radio to tap into the Albuquerque Police Department frequency and calls in the car. As Lalo Salamanca is coming to a stop at a light, he is spotted by a patrol car. Lalo briefly contemplates using his gun to escape, only for several more units to arrive and box him in. Realizing he is outmatched, Lalo Salamanca surrenders on the spot. Jimmy waits for Kim to come home, feeling apprehensive over how she will react to what transpired at the Mesa Verde meeting. When she arrives and confirms that Kevin took the settlement offer, Jimmy insists that the outcome was a win for everyone and is a cause for celebration. Instead, Kim angrily states that only Jimmy won from the scheme, denounces him for going back on their previous deal of not using the blackmail video, and says that he made her the sucker for his con against Mesa Verde. To Jimmy's surprise, Kim insists that they either need to end their relationship or get married. And that's what ends this episode of Better Call Saul. So this episode, some of these episodes in Season 5 have been making me fall asleep. There were some good things that happened in this one, but I'm going to give the episode an 8.5 out of 10. And then my character of the episode, I mean, you can go with Mike, you can go with Kim. Either one of them, even Lalo had some moments, but not a lot of moments. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, or El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash that like button right this moment. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Better Call Saul. What would you rate it? And who would you give the character of the episode to? I mean, Jimmy, he's the character of every episode. But aside from him, who would you choose? Remember, I'll put my Better Call Saul Season 6 original reviews right here. They'll be coming up shortly, though, new ones. And, of course, I'll put my Breaking Bad playlist right there with all my episode reviews, seasons ranked, characters ranked, and my top 10 episodes. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, share your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.